Uncertainty as we head into this weekend. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still. I am tracking a storm system that's going to develop off of our coast and basically get trapped here because of the way the atmosphere is configured, and that is adding a few more gray hairs to my head. Let's take a look and see what I am tracking here. Again, that uncertainty with the forecast as we head on into the weekend. The ultimate track of 1, maybe 2 weak low pressures off of our coast, along with how that will be affecting us here in Eastern Carolina. Those are my greatest questions. Now, definitely we do know that we are going to be experiencing northeasterly winds, and those northeasterly winds are going to be keeping us with water coming especially along the western portions of the Sounds, and that is going to be our main problem as we go into this weekend. Potentially some minor coastal flooding for down East Carteret County, Craven County, the mouth of the Neuse River, Beaufort County, Hyde County, with that wind being blown from the eastern side of the Sounds into our western side of the Sounds. It is going to, however, eventually warm things up as we head into next week. But until then, we've got some rainfall, not only to deal with from the last 24 hours. You can see New Bern and Havelock finally got close to an inch of rainfall, where the inland spots didn't quite have as much yesterday. And this is going to kind of be the trend as we head on into the weekend. The further east you are, the better chance you have of seeing some showers that are going to be scattered about. Storm Track 12 forecast, showers and maybe a rumble thunder not completely out of the question as you go along and east of Highway 17. Inland spots, I think we hold out a little bit of hope of maybe seeing some filtered sunshine for inland locations this afternoon. Breezy, cool with those northeasterly winds overnight tonight, maybe a spotty shower along the coast. And then we'll also be tracking for some scattered showers again along the coast as we head on in through the day tomorrow. Now, this is the setup. This is what we're dealing with as far as our systems are concerned. Low pressure centered off of the mid-Atlantic coast here with a high pressure across New York and Pennsylvania, and that is basically just going to funnel in the type of cloud cover, moisture, easterly winds that we are going to be dealing with as we go on through the majority of this weekend here. That high is going to try to exert itself, but not really going to be able to win out. And eventually we'll have 1, if not 2, low pressures develop along this system here. This is what it looks like from topside. It's the upper level low that is basically the problem for us here. And you'll kind of notice how it's got itself kind of elongated here, and it just kind of wobbles around, kind of goes this way, then retrogrades a little bit, reforms back here. And with this wobbling, that is going to generate upward lift along the Gulf Stream. So that's going to get 1, if not 2 areas of low pressure going here. Question is, how do they form and where do they go once they form? This is the GFS model I'm showing here. I don't exactly like its interpretation of how the upper level pattern is going to be, but what it does show is this upper level low kind of wobbling and elongating itself. And basically any storms that form out here are kind of going to be a cork running around the outer rim of this. Some of the forecast models are trying to take a weak low up into the Chesapeake Bay region, in which case we'd have the effects of that. Now, again, the GFS kind of tries to escape things out a little bit too quick and brings the low more eastbound, keeping the action off the coast. I'm not so sure that's how things are going to verify, but it is something I am going to continue to track, and it's going to be one of those weekends where you'll just have to kind of stay tuned with us as we go into the weekend once these forecast models start to get a little bit better handle on this. And that's the uncertainty. When you get these upper level cutoff lows, there isn't really anything in the atmosphere to push them along, to get them moving. So there's just kind of meander back and forth. So that's kind of the problems that we are facing here. Now, eventually, by early next week, it will start to move. And then we do watch for the next trough to kind of dig its way on in. And that'll bring some more showers back into the neighborhood here for the middle of next week. But it'll also bring with it some warmer air eventually with it coming Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's what things look like as far as future track is concerned here. Again, the main concern is going to be the northeasterly winds, taking that water from the eastern portions of the Sound, blowing it to Hyde County, Craven County, Carteret County, Pamlico County. So probably looking at maybe 1 to 2 foot rises as far as sea level is concerned there with the water levels, that is. And then we'll see 1, maybe 2 waves of low pressure develop along the Outer Banks and kind of try to meander north and eventually maybe northwestward in towards the Chesapeake Bay region for us, keeping us in the cloud cover. Again, the better chance of showers are going to be further closer to the coast that you go, Meanwhile, we are going to be looking at least some scattered showers and maybe some rumbles of thunder along and east of Highway 17. And right now, I'd probably have to peg Sunday as the day which the greatest threat of some showers and storms across all of eastern Carolina would be. But again, it really depends on where these lows form and where they track. So a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. You'll see things do start to improve for Monday and Tuesday before that next front comes in here on Wednesday. Again, keep it tuned right here. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the weekend. I'm Storm Track 12 meteorologist Les Still.